Welcome to Ultimate Alchemy, and our refined storage system is looking quite good. Let's pop that underneath and I'll show you what I've been doing. Hopefully that will be visible. In fact, let me just get some torches. Torch. Or glowstone would do. Yeah, let's just get some glowstone, put it down under here. I already had some in my inventory, but that's fine. Let's just put some there so you can see everything. So I changed the single power coal generator to 2, feeding from these oakwood barrels. And down here you can see I've got lots of input chests. They're all connected with importers, and they're all the same channel. They're all triple white. The reason why we've got lots of those is that we can yet craft the speed upgrade. Now the speed upgrade is this. Needs sugar. Sugar needs sugar cane. Sugar cane can be found randomly back in grass. So grass it is. We can make grass using dirt and compost. Except we have no dirt and we have no compost. Compost can be made simply with wheat and dirt, or ash and dirt, or oak leaves. So if we can make a sapling or saplings, we can directly get oak leaves, and we can use a crafting recipe to make those. We don't have to actually grow physical trees. Remember, this mod pack is shortcutting the need to grow trees. Okay, so oak saplings can be made from dead bushes in a carpenter. Is that carpenter? Yeah, carpenter. And those can be made from 2 sticks, again in a carpenter. So with just wood converted into sticks, converted into dead bushes, we can get saplings. Saplings can go, let's go backwards, to oak leaves. Oak leaves can go to compost. Great. How about the dirt? Okay. Dirt, well, dirt we can get from gravel, easy enough you might think, except the liquid is liquid dirt. We can't get liquid dirt without dirt, so yeah, that's a bit of a dead end. However, we can, I think, make it with pulped biomass and slag, and there may be another way to actually do it. Let me find out. Let's look at liquid dirt. Is there any way to get liquid dirt? I think there is through one of the... Is it the still? Yeah, so the still, another forestry machine, takes water of life and gets us to dirt. Water of life, through a fermenter even, comes from water. But we're going to need some sort of fertilizer, but we can use the compost. So we sort of have a route towards dirt that we need to assemble a few bits and pieces. First, let's sort out the compost. But before I do that, what I'm going to do is just briefly, over here, I've also got this other cable extending off and down here, and it's going into our storage system that comes from the smeltery. Here it is. So all this is visible from the smeltery, and I've crafted a few things already. We see got some dripping ender leaves here, ender pearls, but they are soggy. Yeah, so we're going to have to dry those out. That's not going to be too much of a problem compared to everything else. But all of that's available as external storage. And one last thing we've got down here as well is I've got external storage onto our infinite barrels. So the system, when we go into it, shows a lot of wood. 1 billion wood, in fact. And I think if we just take some of those out and put some back in. Does it put them back in? Still sells 1,097,000. Yeah, so it's just, they're just being essentially disappeared. Alright, back. There's quite a simple setup for auto crafting in refined storage by comparison to AE2. Well, AE2 is more powerful. Refined storage is simpler. You can craft crafters and you can create patterns, just like in AE2. The patterns are set in a pattern grid, and you can use a crafting monitor to see what's going on. But you can set whatever you like here and store them into patterns. And of course, the first thing you should do is create a pattern for a pattern, and the system will be able to auto-craft. Alright, let's start with the still. Straightforward. It needs some RF, and we'll need to figure that out. We'll probably just put a coal generator underneath it, but no worries for now. We're going to take in something like water of life and output the liquid dirt, for instance. Okay. And then we're going to need to deal with that. So water of life, first of all. Let's go back and generate that. So water of life, is that the one that comes from compost? Yeah, compost and gravel. All right, so let's just put... Was that as a carpenter? A fermenter, sorry. It's a fermenter. Okay. And these are all going to probably need power to them. Yeah, they are. Okay, so the fermenter then. Water of life. Fermenter. So we're going to need a source of gravel. We can input that onto the left-hand side of this. And we're going to need compost. And maybe let's put that on the top. So the compost, as we just went through, is made from oak leaves. And that's going to be in a crafting grid. So we can just put a mechanical crafter down. But first of all, we probably want to put a flat transfer node. And I can always try and remember which side is which of these. I think that's the input side. So that should be okay. And then mechanical crafter is going to be making the compost here from the leaves. All right, the leaves are going to come from saplings, so we're going to want another one, and we don't need to put one of those flat transfer nodes because crafters can pull themselves, and that will do the job. So that's going to be going from so this is going to be leaves to what was it? Leaves to compost. Yeah, and this one's saplings to leaves. So then we need to generate saplings. Okay, saplings. So carpenter now is what we need. And we don't need to put another flat transfer node, but that's okay because the grid can pull. And this is going to be making them from the dead bushes. So we're now going to need another flat transfer node. And another carpenter, I think. And that's going to need sticks. All right, and another one. And this one is going to need wood. Yeah, wood. And of course, wood is straightforward. We just want to pull that in from the top. And do I have a wood item barrel? I do. Good. Why did you disappear? Oh, it's just a bug with the things again. That's fine. All right, that's starting to appear. And we actually want the recipe like this. Or am I misremembering? I am misremembering. Whoops. That's not the right recipe. There you go. Let's just get rid of you as well. Using the right tool. All right. So where are we again? So this one needs saplings. This is generate saplings from dead bushes. This one's going to generate dead bushes from sticks. So it's just sticks, which means it's going to be not a carpenter, but a mechanical crafter. Then on top, we don't need another flat transfer node because that's perfectly fine for this. And now if we get the recipe, it will pull them in and produce sticks. Cool. All right, so looking back down again, sticks will start coming in here. And we can make, they need to maybe be a specific location. Dead. Carpenter, it's the left-hand side. Okay, and we're going to need water, I assume, with that as well. 2 sticks and water. All right. We had water over here. Yep, right here. And we're feeding in to an ender tank. So we can just grab that straight from the ender tank and feed it in. Where did I leave my ender tank? Ah, there it is over there. Do I actually need water for this? What am I doing? I am actually creating dead bushes here, so I'll just take some of those. This was just for me to test, so I will just take that with me. There we go. And there we go. So which one is it? You? I think they're both probably going to need water. But let's turn that around. There we go. That's producing dead bushes, which will then get pulled into here, hopefully. And then are you going to be converted with some kind of recipe? Just one will do the job, and you'll convert into saplings if you're given water. Okay. I could just put a conduit together, but for now, I'm just going to make another ender tank. This is just very, very portable if I do. This recipe. What am I missing? Oh, a cauldron. Cauldrons are easy. There we go. We got 4 of them, so quite simple and easy, just like the infinite sources. Spin them around, and you'll be producing saplings. Good. Saplings will be coming into here, hopefully, once they're done. We need power, of course, yet, but we'll get there. So power, which one things needs power? The carpenters need power, and these need power. So that looks like 2. And, well, I guess we could try and move these in parallel and share one, but it's probably easier just to make some coal generators. Coal generators. And some item barrels. They'll do. And we'll just feed them in either from the back or from the sides, depending on what they actually support. So let's say here, for example, 2. And we can use our flat transfer nodes to input this way, I think. If it, oh well, it may only accept fuel from the back. So let's just do it automatically, hopefully. Yeah, so if you will both accept from the back, then we can just put them both in like this. Yep, they're both running, which means this should be provided with RF. It is. So that's running. And this is providing saplings. Good. Next thing down, I can then craft saplings into oak leaves. And that should be pulled in automatically once it gets through a few. I would have hoped. Why are you not pulling? Do you not count as an inventory or an output? Oh, yes, it is working. It just needs more saplings, I guess. And once it gets enough of those, maybe. If not, I can always rework that. And then once it gets leaves, I can put them in here, and then we can process them down here. So let me just build up a few, and then I may need to do some reworking here. While that's actually happening, though, we can just put in some more coal generators. So let's just sort the power out. Straightforward. 1, 2, and around the back. There we go. All right, they should both get power. Yep, looks like it's getting power just fine. So now, are we just waiting for a few things? Ah, there we go. So there's some oak leaves. Although why these are inputting dead bushes, I don't know. Is that because that's in the inventory? Do we have any auto output options? Because if not, I really would have hoped that it could pull the oak saplings out of there. It doesn't look like it is, does it? Which is a shame, but not a very hard thing to do, or to deal with, I should say. We can just take you out for a second. And then don't use the control option, just use the regular right-click option. That'll produce an output side. And then the mechanical crafter, because we're only using one thing in here, so it should just fill up just fine. And we don't need to worry about other, other ingredients. And then this should then be able to deal with the oak leaves. There we go. And produce compost. The compost is going to drop down into here. And once it gets some oak leaves to start out with, we'll get that compost. And why are you not pulling? Maybe it's just because it's not good enough yet. Anyway, we'll see. If I have to put them on between these, if they've suddenly lost the ability to pull, and why are these still supplying me with dead bushes? I shouldn't... I think it's just because these have a shared input-output inventory, and so they can be pulled, which is slightly unfortunate and annoying, given that we want them to be processed. So I may actually need some kind of filter approach, but for now I'll keep on feeding it, and we'll see where we get to. Output, input, and then compost is going to come in here, and we're also going to need gravel. Okay, gravel is relatively simple. We've already got a gravel machine over here, and it's just a single crafter, but it does need the iron pickaxes, which is slightly annoying. So for now, again, like before, I think I'm just going to take some manual gravel, and we can just put a basic drawer, and I can just feed that right into here. Yeah, that's the wrong place. I want it to go facing backwards. Let's just put some blocks down. And let's try that. There we go. Much better. And we got some free flint. There it goes. So oh, in fact, I may need to actually pull that in, won't I? Yeah, let's just pull that in first. Yep, so this side is the input, so that will do. And then we can put our gravel in place. All right, that's been dragged in. The other side should come in from the top automatically, I would have thought, once it's got enough. And we're going to get compost. That will go in the bottom, and that will then produce water of life. Water of life will then get dragged into the still. Still will turn the water of life into liquid dirt. At that point, we're going to have to convert the liquid dirt over into regular dirt. So let's take a look at regular dirt. We're going to need gravel again. And we're going to need liquid dirt. So if we have another machine, say here, what machine is that in? A carpenter? Okay, and a coal generator. And I need some more of those flat things, but you know, with some power, with some wood on the back. And then this should produce dirt. Now I guess I could try and do that underneath and move everything up, but for now this is fine because we should only need a little bit of dirt before we can make things circular. Once we have dirt, we can use dirt to make liquid dirt. And I'm assuming you get more. Liquid dirt is 144 from one block of dirt, and one block of dirt takes 50 liquid dirt. So yes, you can multiply up and then you get more and more dirt. Once you have a smeltery, of course, for this. But everything's set up. I'm just going to do a little bit of tweaking just to make sure we get exactly what we want in each stage here. And I just had one of the ingredients wrong. We need transfer node liquids, not transfer node items for some of the things. So I'm just going to grab some of that. Let's make some transfer pipes. And we also need a bucket, but that's relatively straightforward, which needs, well, gets us some of those. And we can then just drop them in over here. I've just got this in place. There we go. I'll leave those there for now. And then we've got transfer node, oh, fluids. And that means if I just take this out for a second. Come on. Ugh. Hate it when they just drop out of range like that. There we go. And if we knock that block out, and I can see from underneath, we should just be able to put this in place somewhere around here. And this needs to be an output, so it needs to be green, I think. Oh, that's the one above. This is the one we actually want. So just right click. There we go, green. And still got the same bug. And we just need to put the still back. And there we go. All right, it's got power. It's filling up with the water of life. Now, I couldn't actually amend this for now. I did make up some item conduits, but we don't have the paper we need for the filters yet. So it's fine because we're getting a little bit of this, and we're actually getting oak leaves out as well. I actually will... Well, there's not much point in putting speed upgrades because we're actually limited by the speed of the carpenter above it, not this. Okay, so we are making water of life, which is making liquid dirt. And then can we actually just get some fluid conduit? Can we actually afford that? I made some of the conduit binder. Let's have a look. Conduits. Pressurized, probably not. Fluid conduit, maybe. That's hardened. Well, the alternate approach is just use ender tanks because we have lots of those. Fused quartz. Do we have anything that I can actually make here? I do hate actually waiting for it to rotate through things. If anyone knows any way of just getting it to the base recipe, so you don't have to just watch this and get through to the get through and see if you can actually make things. In fact, let's just shift click. Yeah, it's saying we can't, and that presumably is excluding glass because we've got plenty of glass in the system. So that will do for now. I'll choose another couple of these, and we need some kind of way to dye them some colour. That might also be a problem. Okay, so maybe I do just want to move this down and use the flat transfer nodes. I mean, well, I guess we can use transfer pipe and then regular fluid transfer. That should do the job. We've got some fluid transfer nodes, so transfer pipe. Let's give this a try. And let's get the other nodes from here. I'm not sure if this needs world interaction upgrades, but we can soon see if that's the case. So we can just put one on here. And I want to feed it into this one. So let's bring it across. That shouldn't matter. Yeah, it's working fine. Fair enough. You have no recipe because you need something else. What did you need for dirt? Was it just the gravel? In which case, I just want to... well, I don't want to destroy that. Let me just destroy this one. Yeah, and let's get the flat transfer this side, and we want it to be an input. Then we can put our basic draw back. That's not a basic draw. It's inventory bug. Can you show me where's my basic draw? I know you're in here somewhere. You know, sometimes that inventory bug really, really bothers me. All right, give me a second. One basic draw. And gravel. So that's being pulled in, and then we just need to tell it needs to make dirt, which is what it should be doing once it has some RF. You're not working because I presumably ran out of item barrels, did I? Yeah, so let's just feed from the back and get an item barrel. I think we should be done then. Or at least we should be done with this first sort of laborious way of doing it, item barrel. And then we can move on to a better way later. So let's just put you right there. And we're making dirt. Great. Okay, so we can make dirt and we can make compost right here. And then if we cut off the water, we'll stop making the dirt and we'll continue making compost, which we can then reuse. Because we're going to need to combine the compost with the dirt. Let's just... is there any way to stop this easily? I could destroy it, but I'd rather not. Let me just turn off the water. Because we shouldn't need more than a few dirt to get this started. And that, yeah, that's going to start decreasing. But this will obviously make us some dirt to get started. And then we can reuse that. So uses of dirt, we can make coarse dirt, I suppose, but we don't really want that. The smelting one, however, we should probably think about making a setup for that. And if we've got some dirt, we can feed it around and make pretty much infinite dirt. And considering I've got a space here, why don't we think about like a mini smeltery or something along those kind of lines? I mean, I've got plenty of layers if we ever need it, and we can always make the subcomponents using this. In fact, I've already got some in here. I knew I'd made extra. So we can make a new mini smeltery and see what we get to. I won't do that on camera. 1 second. Okay, with the smeltery built, we can take some of this dirt out of here and we can disassemble this. So we want the what's it called? Carpenter back. Yes, the carpenter. And we want you back. We're going to use you and we're going to use you as well. All right, so basic smeltery, nothing excessive, 3x3 internal, well, 3x3x3 internal, I should say. And we've got a drain on one side and a drain on the other side. So I guess I'm going to put the, I'm probably need more drains, but that's not much of an issue right now. I'm going to want to put, where's our carpenter? I can probably drain from any side. If I can, that means I just want to use my flat transfer node fluids just to collapse this a little bit. So we want this as an output. And where's our, there it is, carpenter. That should work. And then for RF, let's actually, well, do I want to feed it back in this way? Do I indeed? Let's put the RF here. Yeah. Coal generator. And solid or items input. And just some wood. Power. And everything we need to feed in. And then to feed back out again, I guess we could just try and put it back in here. What we're trying to get to actually occur is a feedback loop. So do I have my... Do I have my transfer node? Oh no, it's still over here. So this is for fluids. So if I can pull it up the front and then feed back up to the top, will it go back into the smelter, I wonder? It may have to go back into the controller, actually. I'm misremembering how this works. So why don't we just move the controller? That's probably the cheaper way of doing it. If I'm going to put... Let's just grab you. It's going to break, but that's okay. If we can put the controller block here and put this as a regular block, are you going to be valid? Yep, you're valid. So then we can just run this way. And this way? Yeah. Okay, so that should feed everything back into itself, hopefully. So to get started, we can just feed stuff into here. Let's feed a few. Let's get 9 and see what it actually makes. It should heat up, turn into liquid dirt, be pulled into the carpenter as soon as it's a liquid. That says can't work, but that's probably because it's not got anything available yet, hopefully. It's got power. So that should get pulled into here, and we just need to put gravel into here as well, don't we? Is it gravel? I think so. And then that will start converting things over. At that point, we can start thinking about pulling stuff back out again. So we want to pull probably dirt back out and not gravel. For that, I guess we could, as a sort of filter, I was saying I couldn't use filters over here, but I just thought about it. We could probably just use a storage drawer. Basic drawer. And we could just lock it. Do I have my key? Yeah. So I just want to lock it to be dirt, I suppose. At least for now. So flat transfer node. That's the wrong side. That's the one we want. And then I want to put a basic drawer. Oops, that's not... Oh, inventory bugs. There we go. Basic drawer. And it's chosen earth, which is good. Dirt, I should say. And then we can just lock it so that it can only ever be dirt. So it's never going to pull out gravel. That sounds like the controller is actually running. Are you running? Yeah, you've already made dirt. Okay. So it's creating dirt, which is going to be hosted in here. And then we're going to want to feed that back into the controller. We've already used one side. Technically, we could go the other way, actually. Let me just actually reroute this just so that I can hide a lot of this stuff off here. Let me just get rid of you. I should make a wrench, but it requires rose red if I make a wrench. And I don't want to actually be dealing with that. All right, so that's going to work equivalently. And then we just want to feed this back into here and be able to have it accessible. From the front, maybe. Let's grab some dirt. Or from the bottom. The bottom might work better. Yeah, let's actually make it accessible from the bottom. So in that case, I'm just going to go from here. And that should make it a little bit easier. And then I can just feed from one to the other. We can use... What can we use? No, we can use the same network. Yeah, we can't feed in solids into there. So we can just feed from this, which makes that a lot easier, and I don't need to worry about a lot of this stuff. So let's just, yeah, we can just put that back. We can just put this there and there. Not worry about it, I think. We'll see that shortly anyway, if we need to. And get rid of all of you. Get rid of you. And I'm actually going to need, just to change that for a second, I need a solid, a proper transfer node. Item 1. There we go, and connected. There we go, dirt's getting fed in. We can speed this up if we wanted to with some upgrade speeds, but it shouldn't much matter, but we'll see. And that should be producing liquid dirt, which should be being pulled back into this, but may not be for some reason. Not quite sure why. We'll figure that out later. And then all we need to do is make sure we feed gravel into this, which is straightforward. We can just knock this block out at the bottom, and we can craft gravel in there if we wanted to, or indeed put a box. I mean, this is just going to make dirt at this particular point, and we can grab it from here, or we can put a... in fact, yeah, we'll knock this block out. Yeah, let's do it this way. And let's go to our refined storage system and get an external storage. We can make one of those. And then what we can also probably do is an exporter. And then we want some cable. Regular cable will do, and yeah, most of a stack will do. So external storage we want on the dirt. Exporter we want on the on this. So this is going to export gravel, and we should be able to set gravel here. And then we just need to connect it with this particular chain over here, hopefully. There we go. All right, now how much dirt does the system see right now? Nothing. Is there nothing in that, in this? Whoops. Nearly fell to my death. Yeah, there's nothing in it right now. That's perfectly fine. I just need to figure out exactly why it's not exporting dirt. But other than that, I think the system is set up, and yeah, it is actually exporting dirt into here. It's just not exporting it from that flat export, which should be working between these two. Yeah, that should be outputting to the back of the into this, but it isn't. Maybe it won't go into that directly from the back. I guess I could rotate it. Can I remember how to rotate storage drawers? Storage drawers. Let's take a look. Is there a wrench? Packing tape, that's useful for moving them. Let me check. It was working, it's just that it was trying to feed stuff into the wrong place. It was trying to feed stuff back into the smelter before into the box. So that's perfectly fine, of course, but I wanted the box to be in the way as a buffer system. So I've rearranged it a little bit. The carpenter now accepts gravel from our system, which is exporting all gravel to it. And nothing should appear in here because it should go straight out. It's been fed, of course, liquid dirt from the drain. So that's going straight down into it. That then is going straight down into the dirt box. And excuse my phone, keep on making notifications. You'll see that dirt box is slowly decreasing. That's because this transfer node is going to try and insert it into the controller. So it's now making liquid dirt, which is going back around, which is piling up here and it's going to produce us more and more dirt. It is already escalating, of course, since we started with something like 30, wasn't it? And it's now pretty much higher than that. So let's just fill you up so we can demonstrate. There we go. And that's filling as we go. We can't really feed, I don't think we can speed the carpenter up for now, but it is certainly working. And we've got dirt available, which should mean we should show in the system over here, dirt. Yeah, we got dirt available. Okay, so let's start putting some back. And why do we want the dirt? Well, because we wanted grass. So let's look at the grass block. Grass block, we need compost and dirt and a carpenter and water. Carpenter's straightforward. We should have some spare. Yes, I do have one here. And we just need compost. So we need to get it back from this system, wherever it's available. It's made lots of liquid dirt and water of life, which probably means we should be backed up on compost-ish. So I think what I can actually do is just remove you now. I don't think we need the water of life, do we? Why have you stopped, though? What part of you have failed? Or maybe it's just really slow. It's just really slow. It's not failed. It's fine. I actually want more compost. And then we can start thinking about filtering those out at some point. Once we have the ability to do that properly. Which should come fairly soon. So I need one more piece of compost, and that'll give me a grass block. The grass block we can then, once we figure out how to make bone meal, we can bone meal that to try and get some sugarcane. Sugarcane will take us to sugar, and it will also take us to paper. And those are pretty major steps in this mod pack. Now that brings us to an end for this episode because I've just got dirt done and now automatically reproducing itself, which is good. And so that's essentially infinite dirt. It will just take a little time to start increasing, or we may have to think about. In fact, that carpenter looks limited by power, doesn't it? Not by speed. So I think I'll have to improve the power support for it. Yeah, it's pulling all the power out of the coal generator. So I'll have to think about that for next episode. If you want to, if you want to comment on any possible power options, I'm going to with furnace generators. The next one up. It also uses burnables, and I'm not sure how much it produces, but that's quite cheap. Machine blocks, marble, which we can make from raw marble, which is from diorite. Diorite is nether quartz, bone meal. Can I use sugar for that? Now, I guess we're going to have to get to bone meal. Fine. So we can probably get to furnace generators fairly soon now that we've got some dirt and some way to grow grass. But for the end of the episode, I think that's pretty good. An entire dirt chain going, and we'll see where we go next episode. Probably with more of the plant side of things, I guess, now that we've got dirt. If you enjoyed the episode, feel free to give it a like. If you like this whole setup, feel free to give it a like. Most of it is actually going to go now, aside from just the compost stage. So it's going to end here, essentially, and now all that can go underneath, and we can just dump it into this box, and we should be okay. So I'll do it off camera, obviously, and we'll see you in the next episode for some more Ultimate Alchemy. And maybe I have to get into the magic mods fairly soon as well. We'll see. Anyway, comment down below if you've seen anything that's incorrect here, or any improvements you want to make. Otherwise, we'll see you next episode, and as always, guys, thanks for watching,